Greetings, Wine Vault friends. I'm here, Chris, and everybody's favorite bartender, Merrick, to demonstrate how to make our best-selling beverage. This beverage right here is the Manhattan, and it actually outsells every other cocktail that we sell, and even every bottle of wine that we sell, which just blows my mind. But it is an amazing, amazing drink, and we've been barrel aging them here. We started off, I can't even believe it's been 8 weeks now since we've been doing this shelter-in-place stuff, but we had this little 10-liter barrel, and we found that we were ending up having to fill it like twice a week to keep up with the demand of it. So we just got our big baby brother right here, this 20-liter barrel, and Merrick is going to show us how he makes the drink that's going to fill this. You see we have an awful lot of booze over there, and Merrick will talk about that in a second. But we use a very traditional recipe for the Manhattan, except we have a special little twist on it. The traditional recipe is just for 2 parts of bourbon to 1 part of sweet vermouth. What we do is we use a very special sweet vermouth, which I'll talk about in a second, but we use the traditional 2 parts of bourbon, and then the 1 part is actually 3/4 of the sweet vermouth and 1/4 of the really cool liquor from Denmark called Cherry Heering. It's a cherry liqueur, obviously. So we just kind of mix that up in about a 75-25% ratio there. And then for the bitters, we use the Fee Brothers old-fashioned bitters, which are amazing. But I want to tell you a really interesting story about the Antica Carpano, which is the sweet vermouth that we've been using here for years. The Manhattan has always been my poison of choice for as long as I can remember. And 8-10 years ago, when we were doing wine tours to Oregon, in between tours, one time we went to Seattle and spent a couple of days there in the Queen Anne neighborhood. And we also walked to this great little restaurant that's called How to Cook a Wolf. And the first time I went in there, I sat at the bar and I ordered my Manhattan, as I always do. And the bartender asked me, well, what kind of vermouth do you want in it? And I said, well, duh, sweet vermouth, right? And he just walked away, didn't say a word, this look of utter disdain on his face. And I'm going, what's this all about? So then he came back and he poured a little tiny tasting glass of Antica Carpano, and he literally just like slid it down the bar to me and said, try that. And I tasted it, and I just absolutely fell in love at first sight with it. And when I got back to San Diego, we immediately threw out all of our regular store-bought Cinzano style, Martini Rossi, whatever, sweet vermouths, and we have been using Antica Carpano ever since. It's an amazing vermouth. It's from Italy, and it actually is delicious enough on its own to taste as a little aperitif or digestivo after dinner. So I encourage you to try that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over to Merrick, who is going to talk about how he's going to be mixing all of these liquors here to make the perfect Manhattan for you.
All right, so as you can see, we have quite a bit of bottles, and it takes quite a bit of time to put all the liquid into this bucket and get it mixed. So I introduced a little bit of physics. As you can see, this is a bottle of liquid, and it's usually liquid is layered like this. So when you flip it, it just takes a little long time for it to get out, the air coming through. But as soon as you introduce a little spin, the bottle creates a vortex and the liquid is going out so much faster. So let's just try this one more time with a full bottle. And it creates a beautiful funnel vortex inside, which makes me happy. I like physics, and that's how we empty it all out.
That's awesome, because basically you're emptying that bottle in literally half the time that it would take if you just turned it upside down conventionally like that. So I think we're going to do a little cut right here, and you don't want to see all these bottles go in, and we'll come back in about 30 seconds here. Okay, so Merrick's got all the booze into this big pot here. You can see this carnage of leftover bottles that we have here. And he's going to mix everything up real good. And then we're going to go ahead and start filling this big barrel here. We won't film it all on camera because it'll take forever. But in the meantime, I wanted to show you how to serve this cocktail right here. In a perfect world, get the big ice cubes like this size right here and put them in your glass. If you don't have these big ice cubes, you can just use regular small ice cubes. But the big ice cubes, they dilute a lot slower, so it's a little bit better for the drink. If you are using regular smaller ice cubes, don't turn this into a slushy. Just put a couple ice cubes in it because you don't want it to get too diluted. And then you want to put a cherry in there. These are the Luxardo cherries. Actually, these are our house-made cherries, but don't use the traditional maraschino cherry with the red number 5 dye in it. You want to use a real Luxardo cherry. You can get those on Amazon.com, but the best cherries are the ones that we make here at the restaurant. Unfortunately, they're in such limited supply that we can only sell them in little 2-ounce containers. I just spoke with Chef and we're anticipating cherry season to come in very soon, and so we'll reload for next year. But basically, these cherries have been marinating in a Solera of Luxardo, Amaretto, and Cognac for over 4 years now. And every year when we do the new batch, we save some of the old batch and we just add a little bit more of the Luxardo, Amaretto, and Cognac to the mix. And so this Solera is going, next year will actually be going back 5 years. It's very similar to the PX sherry that we have here too. So at any rate, you've got that. Okay, so to make the drink, basically, we're just gonna get some of the barrel-aged Manhattan and we'll pour it over the ice cube with the cherry in it right there and enjoy it. And the way we sell these here at the restaurant is in a 200 milliliter bottle. It's just under 7 ounces, so it's enough to make about 4 cocktails. And if you want to get the cherries, we have those available in little 2-ounce containers for $3. So at any rate, why don't you go ahead and give one to Merrick and come back here and cheers and have a sip. That brings me back to How to Cook a Wolf in Seattle. Hope you guys enjoy this, and if you've already placed orders for this week and want to add one of these on, no problem, just obviously just send us an email and we'll be happy to add one of these to your list. Cheers, folks.